Hey there! So this request comes to us from Sammy K over at cupofcoffee.com. Thank you, Sammy, both for this request and for your support. And if you'd like to support this channel, you can buy me a cup of coffee at cupofcoffee.com, which will guarantee that your request gets played on this platform. This is Baroness, and again, we're going to perform Borderlines, but this is during the COVID isolation time, and so Fender sponsoring this song, apparently with social distancing involved. So let's listen to it through the ears of Fender, the Fender channel. Here we go.
We are Baroness. This is a playthrough of our song Borderlines from Golden Gray.
So this was immensely better than the last Borderlines video we ran, and from my point of view, and that's from the point of view of a musician, and especially a guitarist, because it defined each individual performance, and it gave me a chance to see how they work together. The two guitarists are wonderful together. And it's clear that they're going to, over time become nothing but more and more excellent. The bass player is solid, doing exactly what he needs to do, as well as the drums. But this gives me Rush vibes, gives me Alex Lifeson vibes, because of the constant riff that's being run and the fact that they split the riff when they're playing. They split their chords. He plays low end open chords, she plays bar chords up high, giving this even fatter, thicker, fuller sound that this song needs because it has so many single note runs. So let's listen to this guitar exchange right here. Okay, so right through there, the bass player was playing chords. It's something that Geddy Lee often has to do because they're a power trio, right? And so, or any power trio. So this fills the gap of these single note runs, especially when they're both running at the same spot on the neck. So both guitars just sound like a double track guitar in some ways. There's some deviation there. So let's listen to that again. Okay, right here, watch the bass player move to chords and listen to that. That breaks it up, that smooths it out, that gives a bed for that run to lay in. It gives it some space to breathe, right? So they can keep doing this constant run. Like if you listen to Xanadu, this constant, I think it's 6 notes maybe. I can play it, but I can't remember it. 6, I think. It's over and over and over and over again, forever. And you think to yourself, well, how do you fill that space up? This is how you do it. You do it with bass chords. You do it by splitting the octave. You do it by great percussion work. So this is what they are doing and are only going to get better at. Now see how she's low with the open chords and he's high, right? But it's still the same chord. It's just fuller, thicker, and it can be a little jangly, it can be a little fat, it can be whatever it needs to be in the moment, and however they engineer it in the end is what it's going to be. Which explains why when you go see a live performance, sometimes something sounds different to you than it does on the studio album, because even if they play it exactly the same way, it may be mixed different by the sound guy sitting out there in the audience. And I love that sound right through there. I love the fullness of the chords. Now, did you see them split there? They started out doing the same thing, and then they split. doing that, you got to write that harmony. It's not going to fall into place. It's not automatic. It's somewhat automatic because you can just find the other note lower on the scale, but it's not always that simple. You're working with sevenths or fifths or thirds. You don't know what's going to sound best when you're making this run. So here they go, and let's listen to them split it again. And it's real odd. So it sounds odd when you hear it live, but it doesn't once it's mixed down in the studio because it's jarring at first, but it works. That was some very nice work. So I guess I'm saying all this to say that this band is a lot more complex than they appeared to me at first. And this gave me a good look at them to see that. At least this song. But if they're putting out this kind of music, then they're deep and rich in their knowledge of music. So I'm anxious to hear more. Tell me what you thought in the comments. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button on the way out. Sammy K, awesome as usual. Thank you so much for your support as well. All right, folks, I hope you have a great rest of the week, and I'll see you later. Bye now.